Thank you, dignitaries, for lighting the lamp of passion on this special occasion. I humbly request the dignitaries to step upon the dais. Prayer is the expression of thankfulness for the benevolence that the Lord has showered on us, and in that way, it is also right that we spell out the benevolence of our place. Now, let us all join together and sing the praises of our state through the Tamil Thai Valtu.
நீராறும் கடலுடுத்த நிலமடந்தை கெழிலொழுகும் சீராறும் வதனமென திகழ்வரத கண்டமிதில் கணமும் அதில் சிறந்த திறனன் திருநாடும் தக்கத்திரு பிறை முதலும் தரித்தனரும் திலகமுமே அத்திலக வாசனை போல் அனைத்துலகும் இன்பமுற எத்திசையும் புகழ் மணக்க இருந்த பெரும் தமிழனங்கே தமிழனங்கே உன் சீரிழமை திறந்தியும் செயல் மறந்து வாழ்த்துதுமே வாழ்த்துதுமே வாழ்த்துதுமே.
Thank you, technical team, for instilling the patriotic passion in us as we chanted our Tamil Thai Vartha. This conference, The Impact of Artificial Intelligence on Insurance Sector, aims to outtell the future of insurance industry. With rapidly changing technological world, it is also imperative that the modern functions also shift to driving technological changes as to adapt to the modern society. So, in this conference, we plan to project the future of insurance industry by the way of artificial intelligence. Though it is already in use, its impact and usage will variantly affect the industry by 2030, which boosted us to conduct this conference. We have started this conference with nearly 200 plus participants, 100 plus publishers, and 40 plus presenters. The conference is taking place in 2 technical sessions with resource persons, rapporteurs, and conciliators.
The soul of hospitality and the heart of humanity is a house of love. It is marked by an open response to the dignity of each and every person. It always takes the right person to state the right things. With a brimming bliss, I would like to call upon Dr. V. Padmanabhan Sir, Head Department of Commerce, Business Process Service and Retail Marketing, who has been always a pillar of support, guiding and motivating us through all our endeavors, to state his realm of reception.
அனைவருக்கும் என் இனிய முதற்கண் காலை வணக்கத்தை தெரிவித்துக் கொண்டு இந்த கான்ஃபரன்ஸ் இந்த அளவுக்கு ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணுறதுக்கு எல்லா விதத்துலேயும் சப்போர்ட்டிவாக இருந்த என்னோடய ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ், ஃபேக்கல்ட்டி, பிரின்சிபல் அண்ட் தி ஃபேக்கல்ட்டி மெம்பர்ஸ் ஆஃப் அதர் டிபார்ட்மெண்ட்ஸ் எல்லாத்துக்கும் முதற்கண் என்னோட நன்றி. வெரி குட் மார்னிங் டு ஒன் அண்ட் ஆல் பர்சன் ஹியர். Live every day with intention. A small progress today adds up for a bright tomorrow. With the blessings of the Almighty, we are all set to start the one-day international level virtual conference on Insurance 2030, the impact of artificial intelligence on insurance. It gives me immense pleasure in welcoming the vibrant community gathered here. First and foremost, I'm overwhelmed to welcome our keynote speaker, Dr. Nithya Ramachandran, Professor and Quality Assurance Officer, Department of Business Studies, University of Technology of Oman. Welcome you, ma'am. She is joining through Meet. Next, my cordial welcome goes to Mr. B. Prasad, Secretary, Coimbatore Insurance Institute. It's a pleasure in welcoming you, sir. My heartfelt welcome goes to Mr. Sankara Raman Narayanan, Voting Council Member of Insurance Institute of India and Executive Committee Member of Coimbatore Insurance Institute. Hearty welcome, sir. At this outset, I would also like to welcome our Principal and Secretary, Dr. B.L. Shivakumar, sir, who in spite of his absence today has consented and supported us throughout our endeavors. Welcome, sir. A warm welcome to our Vice Principal, Dr. S. Deena, ma'am, who has always been a constant supporter and motivator, guiding us even in her absence today. Welcome, ma'am. I feel proud and happy in welcoming our Dean Student Affairs, Dr. J. Shanmukhanand Vadivel, sir, who has joined us today. Welcome you, sir. Next, I would like to extend my welcome to the heads of various departments, especially from School of Commerce, Dr. Nirmala Devi, Head Department of School of Commerce, Dr. Agila ma'am, Head Department of BCom Accounting and Finance, Dr. Geeta ma'am, Head Department of BCom CA. Welcome you, ma'am.
Chief guest of today's one-day virtual conference on Insurance 2030, organized by Department of BCom, BPS and Retail Marketing of our Sri Ramakrishna College of Arts and Science. Mr. Shankar Narayanan, Executive Committee Member, Coimbatore Insurance Institute. Madam Dr. Nithya Ramachandran, Professor and Quality Assurance Officer, Department of Business Studies, University of Technology and Applied Sciences, Ibra Sultanate of Oman, who is consulted for offering keynote address to our inaugural session. Mr. Prasad, Secretary of Coimbatore Insurance Institute, who is going to felicitate our inaugural session. Dear participants, faculty members, heads of various college department and other departments of our college, participants from various other institutions who have virtually joined in this session, participants who are going to present papers in this one-day conference. My dear students, warm welcome to all of you and good morning once again to you. Students, the seminar conferences are, you are aware that regular affair in Sri Ramakrishna College of Arts and Science for equipping, molding our students, as well as to disseminate some of the new concepts for the young minds. in the college level. By our proactive guidance of our Principal and Secretary, Dr. B.L. Shivakumar sir, these kind of conferences, seminars, workshops are regularly organized in all departments. Today, the Department of BCom Business Process Services as well as Department of Retail Marketing organized this one-day virtual conference on Insurance 2030, Impact of Artificial Insurance on the insurance industry. Here, this seminar or conference, whatever the name, it will definitely will give some inputs to the participants to learn as well as to train by way of presenting papers or associating in the organizing team for their career growth. So with this motive, the department has organized today. At the outset, I appreciate that efforts of the Department of BCom, BPS and RM and its head of the department, Dr. V. Padmanabhan and team, the students' representatives, chairman, secretary, and other office bearers who are contributing for this arrangement of this one-day virtual conference, as well as the technical team, MOC team, and active learners who have gathered here for getting some inputs through this one-day conference. I appreciate all of you for joining together, for making some new step for learning in this insurance sector. We have a group of learned expert team for discuss and give inputs about this different titles of technical sessions 1 and 2 for giving detailed explanation about the topic known as insurance in 2030, impact of artificial intelligence. So I am not expert in this line, but I have some views to share with you regarding this topic. Along with the experts team who are going to offer their expertise, Dr. C. Karthik, Professor of Department of Professional Studies, Christ University, Bangalore, Dr. Prabhakar, Professor of Management Studies, Hindustan College of Arts and Science, who are going to take chairs in the technical session 1 and 2 in different topics, and also with their chairmanships, number of students, I recently known that there are 40 students enrolled for presenting papers through virtual mode. That 40 members are going to present their contributions to the forum. It is going to be discussed along with you. You are going to get a lot of inputs out of these experts and presenters regarding this topic known as insurance in 2030, impact of artificial intelligence. Friends, we are aware that banks and insurance are the two core institutions which in finance sector, which is contributing to the economic development of our country, not only our country, India, but also in all the developing countries as well as the developed countries. But be aware that the banks are very popular and its services are reached most of the citizens or public concern in India, but not the case of insurance. Even though in the last 70 years after independence, nearly 50 years, that sector was totally owned by public, known as government control. In the last 20 or 25 years, it is given or it is open to private sector also. The banking industry is getting familiarized, popularized, and its service products are reached to most of the public. Though the product or services are different, the nature of services are different, the banking services are totally reached, but the insurance services are not so reached to the public. That means there is a large potential opportunity for the penetration in insurance industry. The insurance industry and its products, either in life insurance or in general insurance, is not as much as familiarized in India. There are 130 plus million population lives in India. But the policy holders concerned for life insurance, only less than 15%. Likewise, in properties insurance, the people have policies only in the case of mandatory insurance areas, either it is vehicle insurance or health insurance, whichever made compulsory, mandatory, they are having it. Otherwise, if it is offered in free of cost, nowadays you may know that in the last 5 years, there are a lot of policies offered to that backward class or rural poverty line people. The health insurances are offered through free of cost. So likewise, if it is offered free of cost or if it is made compulsory, the people are interested to have these policies. Otherwise, they are not come forward to make use of that insurance facilities. Friends, the risk management is the core of insurance. Always there is a risk in every activities, either in our life or in handling of our properties. There is a risk in bank loans. The banking industry suffer huge crores of rupees by way of bad debts every year, non-performing assets. The non-performing assets can be reduced or curtailed by way of proper insurance plans. But the people who are obtaining such credit facilities, loans, are not come forward to secure themselves for this loan options. Even the banks are also not forcing the people to get insured. Only in case of housing loan or property loans, like which are offered as securities. For such things, very few insurances are made. These are all protected. But in other forms, it is totally not protected, so that there is a problem of non-performing assets comes in. So likewise, in case of insurance, if it is made mandatory or if it is offered free of cost, the people come forward to avail that services. Otherwise, they are not come forward. There is a need for it. If you think the insurance for social security, social benefits after retirement or pension plans, likewise, there are a lot of insurance companies designing their products. But the products are not reached to all the people. The people who have earned money during the young ages not come forward to spend certain percentage of their earnings for the future, called as for protecting their retired life or social security concern. The government is taking several measures in different forms. You know that for health insurance, recently the government has started a plan called as Ayushman Bharat for giving insurance for nearly 5 crore families with the cost of 5 lakhs in insurance plan. So likewise, either it is health insurance or other type of insurances or insurance plans. The government is taking some measures, even though it is not totally reaches to all the peoples. There is a potentiality for involving or doing marketability in this area. How to market, how to catch up that industry, how to do best services to the people who are not availing such kind of products or services of insurance industry. For which this one-day virtual conference, impact of artificial intelligence in the industry known as insurance, will definitely help. You know that through that artificial intelligence, there is a huge marketing scope. You know that term marketing itself, making the people to purchase, even though they have no intention to purchase, make them to purchase. Induce them to purchase. Convince them to purchase. After they purchase, satisfy their needs. So likewise, certain components which are designed, which can be designed through artificial intelligence for all the products. The product known as insurance products, either it is health insurance product or life insurance product or property insurance, either it is vehicle insurance, fire insurance, logistics, marine, whatever may be the field, in which there are plenty of opportunities are there that artificial intelligence, which are having the scope by way of designing proper websites, e-commerce platforms, social medias, or mobile applications, mobile apps. Nowadays, mobile apps are acting as a tool for getting the products or services as and when it is needed or intended to purchase. So such kind of facility to avail that kind of products or services are there in the fingertip of every one of us. So through this AI, artificial intelligence, we can make use the target group called as potential customers who are intended to purchase the insurance products for the benefit of themselves and for the benefit of our country. You know that the insurance is not only helping themselves. So it is a plan meant for helping. By investment, we are getting help for ourselves, we are helping for others, and we are helping for the country. Because it is a fund, insurance fund. The fund is possible to make use in case there is a any risk happen to that policy holder. At the same time, the fund is useful for others in case that others face any uncertainty or risk. Likewise, if any of them have not faced any risk, automatically the fund will be useful for economic development. The fund is going to be invested in share markets. Through that share markets, there are possibility for establishing or producing products for the consumption of the whole Indians. New economic activity is going to be started through this investment. So such kind of facilities are there because of that investment we have made in the insurance industry, but that kind of facility is not made so far. I hope that one day virtual conference will find out the vacuum between that insurance industry and artificial intelligence, which is created by this technological platform, and the speakers, experts who are expertise in this field will contribute for the development of such products, designing of such products, or dissemination of the services to the public in the form of user-friendly, customer-friendly, and that one-day conference will contribute definitely to that insurance industry to take into the next 10 years within 2030 to reach to the best, to the better economic industry in this field. With this hope, I conclude my presidential address. Usually, the presidential address is made by the head of the institution, principal. In his absence, I have to take the chair for this inaugural session. I once again thank the organizers for giving this opportunity as well as platform to the students to equip themselves and help the others. All the very best for the one-day seminar, one-day conference. Definitely this conference will make that industry into the next era. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your commendable presidential address and for briefing us about the current insurance industry and its future developments. Thank you, dignitaries. I request the dignitaries to take the seats prepared for them off the dais. The first step to solve any problem is to accept one's own accountability for creating it. In that journey, every thought you produce, anything you say, and any action you do bears your signature. A guest in the house is always a good sign for a good fortune in the near future. We are very happy to have such a person, Mr. Shankara Ramanarayanan sir, MSc MBA, Executive Committee Member of Coimbatore Insurance Institute for the past 23 years. He is an MBA graduate from IGNOU New Delhi who is working for LIC of India for the past 31 years. He is also a voting council member of the Insurance Institute of India. He has also been handling insurance-related classes and is also a member of Board of Studies at PSGR Krishnamma College for Women. We are very happy to have you with us today, sir. I now kindly request Shankara Ramanarayanan sir to give the inaugural address.
Good morning, every one of you. Respected Principal and Secretary, Sri Ramakrishna College of Arts and Science, Dr. Shanmukhananda Vadivu, Dean, Students Affairs, Dr. Deena, Vice Principal, Ramakrishna College, Dr. V. Padmanabhan, Head of Department of Commerce, BPS, Dr. Nithya Ramachandran, who is going to deliver the keynote address from the Sultanate of Oman, and my colleague P. Prasad, Honorary Secretary, Coimbatore Insurance Institute. Faculty members of Sri Ramakrishna College of Arts and Science, and my dear students. At the outset, I would like to thank one and all of you on behalf of Coimbatore Insurance Institute, as well as on my behalf, for giving us this chance to interact with you on the subject of insurance. I think this subject is very pertinent at the current scenario, that is insurance becoming debate, the impact of artificial intelligence. As I was introduced to you, I have more than 30 years of experience in this field. I have seen how this industry has migrated from totally a manual platform to a technological platform. Unlike banking industry, the insurance industry was the first one to embrace technology. Maybe that this technology was not delivered to the policyholders effectively, but this industry was one which embraced technology at the nascent stage itself. Risk finding, risk identification, risk assessment, risk measuring, risk coverage, risk pricing, and claim settlement are all the functions of any insurance entity. And technology has impregnated itself into all these activities over the past 30 years. Earlier, everything was done manually, right from risk identification, then assessment, coverage, policy servicing, and claim settlement. But in the early 90s, with the introduction of data storing and computing, that is the introduction of personal computers, it became a bit easy for the people in the insurance industry to service the clients more effectively. But the real impact or the good impact was seen when these PCs were intranetted. The PCs were netted within the office or within the organization, and this had a profound impact on the servicing in the insurance industry. The servicing had become more precise and more accurate. But with the introduction of World Wide Web, that is interneting of the computers, the impact was very great. The servicing became very seamless, and it was not geographically specific. Services were delivered in variety of places rather than from branches of insurance companies. But with the digitalization of the economy, especially the Indian economy, the services were further improved. Policies were sold over internet. KYC were easily taken online, and there was a customer delight with insurance industry. Today, you can have term insurance from any company in the insurance sector, or car insurance from any general insurance companies over the online. This was made possible only due to the digitalization of the economy. With biometrics in digitalized world, it was easy for the insurance companies to procure business over online and also underwrite them easily. Even the big insurance giant LIC of India has introduced many novel products for its servicing over internet. The product Ananda, which was introduced recently, has given scope for procuring insurance business over online. This digitalization has led to collection of large volume of data, which the insurance can use for product designing, for product selling, especially targeting the product segment, getting proposals over online, underwriting easily, and servicing even without the policyholders coming to the branch offices. Similarly, the claim settlement, whether be it death or be it survival benefits, has become more easy. So digitalization of both banking and insurance industry has led to a synergy. This digitalization of banking industry has helped insurance industry in its servicing, especially in claim settlement. So this digitalization, even though the servicing and other concepts of insurance has improved both quality wise and quantity wise, there are many emerging technologies that are slowly coming into the insurance industries. Specifically, the Internet of Things, that is called as IoT, using advanced sensors are started being used in the insurance industry. Biometric variables, GPS, telematics, mobile phone technology, social media usage, drones, and artificial intelligence are slowly emerging in the insurance field in its utility. Probably you would have all known about Internet of Things. This is netting of commutable or measurable sensing instruments through internet or through intranet, through wireless form or through wire platform. For example, if you have cameras set in your house for surveillance purposes, and these cameras are connected to your PC, which can be connected to internet and to your mobile phone, you can easily view the building remotely, even far away from your house. This internet technology, this interneting of things is being used, especially in advanced economies in the European countries and in Americas, for insurance purposes. For example, the Liberty Mutual of USA is in agreement with Google Nest to set fire alarms at homes. These fire alarms are very sensitive sensors which can easily detect even small temperature changes and forewarn small fires which may engulf the whole building or the property. The insurer, that is the Liberty Mutual, insists the insured to install its fire alarms at the properties which it covers by fire insurance. So this concept has in a great way prevented major fires. So this is very beneficial both for the insurer and the insured. Similarly, in motor insurance, Interneting of Things is used by fitting measuring instruments in the motors, say bikes or cars. By this, the premium pricing is not universal and it becomes highly personalized. These measuring instruments measure the driving habits of any individuals, how many times brakes are applied, or to what speed the person goes. These measurements are used to measure the wear and tear and the probability of accidents of the individual user. So even if two persons buy the same motorcycle or car, the premiums will not be the same. A person who's having good driving habits may be charged lesser premium than those having very rash driving habits. So with the Interneting of Things, we come to the insurance industry has adopted the the policy of usage-based insurance. So as the way you use, or in the way you use the insured products, you pay the premium. Similarly, biometric variables are also used to measure the risk assessment associated with any insured objects. Biometric variables like Fitbits, oximeters, blood sugar measuring meters, and other meters which measure the vitals of individuals are used for pricing of insurance products, especially health insurance products. This, even though has not caught up in our country, has become more popular in advanced economies, as I was saying, in Europe and Americas. For example, if a person is taking health insurance, a company may ask him to wear Fitbits that it can measure his daily workout and his health parameters, and if he is fit at the end of the year, it can give discount on its medical insurance in the subsequent years. So measurable biometric variables are being used in a large way in insurance industries in advanced countries. As Dr. Shanmugananda Vadivel was saying, mobile phones and social media are also used by insurers to interact with its clients in an effective manner. These media platforms are used for communicating on premium payment or noticing on the due date of premium payment, claim settlements, requirements needed for death or survival benefit settlements. Even in India, the Indian Biometric Identification Card Aadhaar is now being accepted by insurance companies for their KYCs. Similarly, drones are used in insurance. Mostly drones are used for loss assessing, especially in natural disasters like large floods, earthquakes, or tsunamis. These drones are used in areas where human beings cannot go and easily assess the damages or losses. The use of drones in this assessing of losses has efficiently improved the claim settlement in property insurance, especially in crop insurance. Drones are used to view the acreage of crops as well as the acreage of damage to crops, so that it can be done. Settlement can be done easily. So the concept of artificial intelligence, even though this new technology, use of this technology is not yet proven towards the world, I think so it is very exciting, and it may have a profound impact on the insurance industry also. Actually, artificial intelligence is nothing but planting human intellect in a machine, so that the machine can learn from the environment it is faced. It can plan, it can reason out, it can solve problems, it can make decisions. So, how it will impact insurance industries? Even though it is very difficult to foresee that for 10 years from now, I think so the impact will be the same as it would be in other industries. Probably it may be used in insurance industries in risk assessing and underwriting, as well as client servicing. Maybe we may see robots or humanoids insurance officers in 10 years from now. A humanoid representing the insurer, talking about premiums, talking about the risk covered, etc. And a robot representing the client, which is coming into the office, talking to the humanoids or the robots with artificial intelligence, and pitching a deal or a policy for the customer. Maybe it may be like that, but we cannot predict that. But artificial intelligence is now being used in very sophisticated areas, especially in science research, in defense areas. But to the extent how it will be used in insurance industry may not be easily be predicted now, but it may be having a profound impact. But it is very exciting, and in the coming 10 years, we may be seeing that. I'd like to close my inaugural address by giving you a short story. This is a story, and it's not a real incident. Once there was a dog in a village, and this dog was able to speak in human language. So people from other areas were very excited about this. So we were also excited on that, and we decided to go to the village and see the dog and speak with. So we went there, got down the bus, and inquired the villagers about the dog. The villagers were very casual with their approach. They just said that the dog was in that house, in that street. So very perplexed. We thought that these villagers did not know the value of such strange things. So we went into the house. There was the house owner. He also was very casual, and he asked us whether we had come to see the dog. We said yes. And he said that the dog was lying there at the backyard and you can go and visit it. So we went in there and saw the dog. The dog, on seeing us, spoke in human language, welcomed us, and said that it was very old, and in its olden days, and in its golden days, it was a spy dog, and it was working with intelligence bureau of the government. It used to spy on very international leaders and to pass the message to the government. Now it is on retirement and it's on pension. So it narrated all its great acts, and we were very impressed. We thought how these people of this village did not know the value of such a dog. And after talking with it for half an hour, we returned back. The house owner was sitting down there. He asked us whether we had spoken to the dog, and we said that, and we said yes, and we said we were excited. But the person there was very casual and said, "This dog is called as technology, and it always speaks lies or untruth." So, friends, whatever be the technology, this technology should be useful to the human beings, useful to the earth in the coming days. I hope that this artificial intelligence also will have a positive effect on the insurance industry as well as on the whole human race. I thank on behalf of Coimbatore Insurance Institute and all the members of the institute for giving me this great opportunity to inaugurate this function. Thank you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable words of wisdom on this special occasion. We are very happy to have you with us today, sir. Invest in your dreams, grind now so that you can shine later. Hustle in silence and let your success make the noise. Because success is not final and failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. Never give in except to convictions of honor and good sense. And now, to influence you all with our oration, I would like to invite Dr. Nitya Ramachandran ma'am, Professor and Quality Assurance Officer, we deeply regret the inconvenience caused due to the technical issue. Invest in your dreams, grind now so that you can shine later. Hustle in silence and let your success make the noise, because silence is not final Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. Never given except to convictions of honor and good sense. And now, to influence you all with our oration, I would like to invite Dr. Ritya Ramachandran Ma'am, Professor and Quality Assurance Officer, Department of Business Studies, University of Technology and Applied Science. She is an accomplished professor with more than 18 years of experience in education and research in the areas of accounting and finance and entrepreneurship. She is currently working as a professor in Accounting and Finance Section, Department of Business Studies, University of Technology and Applied Science. She is also the member of Global Assessment Research Team 2020. It is a bliss to have you today with us, ma'am. Now, I humbly call upon Dr. Nitya ma'am to deliver the keynote address.
A very warm good morning to one and all. It gives me immense pleasure to meet you all through this virtual platform. So I'm happy to meet you all through this virtual platform, and my special regards to the administration of the college, Sri Ramakrishna College of Arts and Science. My special appreciation to the organizing committee and the department, and special regards to the head of the department, Dr. V. Padmanabhan, who has been behind the conduct of this event. So, as a person from the city, I am always glad to meet you all. Maybe this situation, the current, the environment is not so safe to meet you all in person, but this opportunity has given me to meet you all through this virtual platform. Always getting invitation from an institution from my hometown is always been a privilege for me. And I am always proud to say that I am also a Coimbaturian. So even though when we leave our hometown and we are away, we are always following things, what is happening there. So in that way, I do have my very close friends there who are always bringing me to their institution. They are always associated with me to discuss about what is happening there. So this Friday morning is very special to me, even though this is weekend in the Middle East. So I'm happy to be a part of this wonderful virtual conference, and always bringing technology into our life is a very interesting job. And we know that for the past 2 years, technology has put us all into more detailed impact, even though we were not so flexible in using technology, especially into education sector. We would have heard that technology has put in itself in different formats in different sectors, but education sector has not been so much influenced through technology, even though a little bit of blended learning was happening in the past. This COVID-19 has actually been so much of negative impact on various sectors, to an individual or to an institution and even to the entire world. But there is also some positive things. What we have to take up is that using technology in a better way, using technology in different walks of life, using technology wherever possible to support people or to gain a knowledge or even to make up with our day-to-day activities. So in that way, insurance is nowhere out of the box. So this particular sector is also gaining momentum. through the use of technology. So we cannot say that technology is only now emerging in insurance. Even in olden days, like maybe a year before, like maybe 10 years before, there were slow usage of technology. Those days, what technology was available, those insurance people were able to guide us through the available technology, and they were able to meet us through their particular segment. But with the current situation, and also to meet the aspects of technology through the modern graduates, it is not easy to satisfy the current youngsters in any way, whether it might be into education, or it might be into healthcare, or it might be in any field. Satisfying the current younger generation is very difficult, where we need to find different tactics to reach them, because they have more options available to learn new things. So now, telling them that such kind of an insurance policy or a particular healthcare segment, it is not very easy to make them understand that this is worth to them. Using technology in a better way is always having a bright future. Insurance sector is now currently into its stand in using advanced technology, as the person who has rightly said from the Insurance Institute of Coimbatore, where technology is more being utilized under claim settlement areas in this part of the world. So I've been experiencing the insurance field using the technology in claim settlement, especially when it comes to bank loans, where generally expats take up loans, and we are not having enough time or possibly money to repay before we are forced to leave the country. So insurance is having a very difficult task there to raise the claim settlements. So those areas is where technology is more utilized in this part of the world. So I would like to add few points on how AI can power insurance. You can Okay, so I would like to add upon how insurance is being powered by using artificial intelligence. So before we go into that, I need to add 2 points what we are going to discuss today. Is AI actually reshaping the insurance sector? What is the state of insurance 2030, which is actually the topic of this conference, and how AI can be enabled using its powers in distribution and also into sales of insurance products. And generally, we talk about technology, all sorts of ways in which we are using technology. But where to start? That is again a big question mark. And finally, benefits of AI into insurance analytics. So let us start with the first one. What are the shaping insurance already deployed in the insurance sector? It is not new. Maybe the versions might be new. The sector in the insurance, what AI is going to process might be new. It's there in all areas. But how far intensely it is used, that is to be reversed again. So AI is being deployed in business, homes, vehicles, as well as in individuals like us. Due to the disruption of this COVID-19, as I told you before, there is a significant increase in use of technology in the insurance sector, especially digitalizing the way in which they reach the customers, digitalizing the premium discussion, and also the claim settlement. So the shaping of insurance through the AI process is actually increasing the emphasis on digital technology and also a greater willingness to bring up a change in this corporate sector. The first trend, what we need to analyze is the explosion of data from connected devices. The one negative thing what technology has given us is the data source. Why I say this as negative is when we start researching something or when we start preparing for any particular event, we find so many information available for us, and we are not having enough time to read through all the information. We are not aware which is the right and which is the one which we should not take up. So the data content is actually having a negative effect when it comes to insurance as well, where so much of data is available because of the increased number of customers, the number of preferences, and the choice options available with the insurance providers. So in an industrial setting, an equipment with sensors can be present for some time. But in the coming up years, a huge increase in connecting number of customers, devices, and all existing technology is all required. So now this growing categories like the technology that is used in the cars, in fitness centers, and even household assistants whom we have, we are able to focus on them sitting somewhere in our offices. So such kind of using technology is actually creating more amount of data that is being stored, and how far this data is going to support us in the development of the sector, that is more important, especially when it comes to the usage of modern students, the current teenagers. They use eyewear, any medical devices, their shoes, everything are being connected to technology. So resulting that new data that is being created, the new devices that is being created, which are again connected to new insurance products. So as an insurance provider should better understand about what is the use of this particular device and what are the limitations, drawback in using such device before you are actually provided an insurance policy. Again, personal pricing element, that is also most important in an insurance coverage. As the one which was already discussed, nowadays premium is not a common element. It is a personalized, customized premium what we are getting. So it depends upon the device on which we are going to take up a premium. And again, if this device is connected to modern technology, how far it is going to support the insurance provider and also the client. The second trend is towards the increased prevalence of physical robotics. We have seen long through the movies for the past 10 years much about robotics, and also robotics in hotels, robotics in spa, robotics in hairdressing salons, so many places. And how far this technology is going to support, this innovative technology is going to support human beings, not only into our day-to-day activities, but also in other manufacturing areas like 3D printing, then reshaping the commercial insurance products. So the 3D printing buildings will become common. So quite recently, there was a first 3D printed building which was set up in Africa, where the people from the surrounding areas, they all went to visit that in spite of this COVID situation, because that was something very new. And you know, the country's greatest insurance service provider was not ready to accept that, because he was in a fear, might be that he might not accept it, it might not be accepted by many of his own clients. Later on, the builders of that particular 3D building, they have put in more efforts to convince an insurance company to insure the building, so that there will be more number of new customers who will be taking up insurance through them. There are programmable autonomous drones, then even framing equipments, surgical robots that will be commercially used in the next coming decade. So a large proportion of standard vehicles, self-driving capacity vehicles, all these will be available. Now when you connect all this to insurance, you think how much of new technology is coming up, but how will the insurance company be able to meet this technology? There lies that bridging the gap, because insurance sector is also equally developing like the other fields in the market. Might be like a manufacturing company bringing up new equipments, or a healthcare sector bringing robots to assist the patients. The same way, insurance sector is also developing from its side to have equal importance, to bring in equal importance to other areas in the field. The third trend, what is now much far available, is open source and data ecosystem. So the data that is available, already we have seen explosion of data. The quantity of data that is available is actually very huge, where we are not having enough time and support to select one particular data. But when open source data ecosystem is going to be shared between different countries, between different industries. So this is going to create an ecosystem. An example for that is a wearable data that could be ported directly to the insurance carriers, that can connect home and auto data, and can be made available through other service providers like Amazon, Apple, or Google, whatever other customer devices who are all manufacturing. Through them, this data ecosystem can be linked. This also goes into the Insurance 2030 platform. The last part of the trend is about advances in cognitive technology. neural network and other deep learning technologies are used primarily in image, voice, and unstructured text processing. These cognitive technologies are based on human brain ability to learn, to de-engaging techniques, to shift in the underlying risk behavior in the real time. Actually, when we always see risk is working with the insurance sector. So now using all these modern technologies will actually support them in coming up with latest insurance products, which is going to use technology and support users of technology as well. So to better understand this, we need to know what is there in this Insurance 2030. What is that policy driven? What are they aiming to achieve in Insurance 2030? AI is a much related technology which is going to impact insurance in the next 10 years, especially in the field of distribution, underwriting and pricing, and also in claim handling. So advanced technologies and data that has been affecting all these three categories is what is highlighted in Insurance 2030. Under distribution, when we see information through AI and creating risk profile, bringing all auto, commercial, and life policies into the customer's hands within seconds. That is what is the way in which insurance sector is actually looking forward. When we compare olden days time period to get an insurance policy and the current market trend is much more developed. Maybe now we need to wait for not even less than an hour. We are able to get up with an insurance policy. But this latest target of what Insurance 2030 is going to give will be the policy derived within seconds of making payment. The processing of payment and verification, everything will be streamlined so that the customer need not wait for even an hour more into underwriting and pricing their products. The process of underwriting is also planned to be reduced to few seconds, as almost all underwriting process is being automated. It is being supported through machine and deep learning system, where technology is used to stack data and also extract data from the stack. The models are powered by internal data as well as a broad external data that is being associated to complete the process of underwriting and pricing in few seconds. Information collected from the devices will be provided by the mainline carriers, by the reinsurers, product manufacturers, and product distributors to a proper data stream. So the plan what Insurance 2030 has towards underwriting and pricing is actually unique, and the sector has to reach it. The information sources will enable insurers to make decisions regarding underwriting and pricing. So this will become a tailor-made bundle according to the buyer's risk profile. in previous years, when we see they talk to us about risk profile when we go for an insurance for our vehicle. But how far, as a client, we understand about the risk that has been involved in times when we are taking up this insurance, and what are they talking about this risk percentage? Whatever it is, we have taken insurance as per the guidelines of the government, and our job is done. So it's not like that. The current market trend and what Insurance 2030 has actually planned is more connecting. People are very much aware, but now policy solve certain areas and actually repair the insurance system. The turnaround time for resolution of many claims is measured in minutes rather than days and weeks. So previously, when we go for a claim, we were supposed to wait for a number of days or weeks. Sometimes it happens to be a month also. But as per the plan of Insurance 2030, is going to be in minutes. So the time gap in this fast moving world is going to reduce. Whenever we think about insurance, it's just going to be 1 minute job. That is how insurance sector is going to be powered through the use of AI into it. Now, how will these insurers prepare themselves to this change? Or how to get smarter? How to get smarter using AI related into this latest trending environment? So the tectonic shift in the industry will be tech focused, addressing them not only in the IT team, but also board members, customer experience team, and also time management team, resource building, and also deep understanding of all AI related technologies. So usually when we see, we always have that feeling once you work in an IT field, you are more into technology. The case is not like that today. It is that whoever is able to spend time, whoever is having an aim to understand technology in a positive way, and whoever actually uses technology can relate them to users of technology. AI is actually a hypothesis driven scenario to understand and highlight what are the major disruptions that will occur before your client is going to take up an insurance policy with you, and support them using technology facts, and also support them in how this insurance with technology is going to help them when there is any risk associated with their policy. Again, to develop and implement a coherent strategic plan. Data is actually fast becoming one of the most and valuable assets for the organization. Whether it is going to be the volume of data or the quality of data, that they are seeing this sufficient and appropriate data. Sufficient means quantity of data, and appropriate means quality of data. Both actually is needed in terms of insurance. It might be data about the customer, it might be data about what the service provider can best provide to the client. Not only on that, the carriers and their focus on securing access to the data. Nowadays, we also have large companies who are actually insuring their data also, because there are chances that they might lose their data sometime in the future due to the competitive world. So the data that is being stored is also being insured. So as an insurance service provider, they should look in for both sufficient and appropriate data. Now, to create and execute a comprehensive data strategy. So, always talking about data, which is actually becoming one of the most and the valuable asset to any organization. Insurance industry is also having that effect. How carriers are identified, quantified, the place, and also how risk is being managed throughout the policy cycle. So therein, they are using technology where they use both internal and external data. And the last one is that to create right talent and technology infrastructure. So it is now the role of the insurance provider to see what are the advanced analytics that can support their company to be measured and to be qualified for an investor. The insurance organization of the future will require talent and also right mindset skill people to be employed with them, because the next generation successful frontline insurance workers will be on high demand. So they need people who look things uniquely. They need people who will have a unique mix of technology, creativity, and willingness to work. So like other sectors like banking, manufacturing, auditing sectors, insurance is also opening its field for bringing new individuals into their organization. So here, people who are having unique ideas, who are all able to use machine learning or even semi-automated or machine-supported technology to gain more customers to their products, they are all welcome into this field. When we say about job opportunities, insurance doesn't go in only under distribution or sales related field, even though major work is in the distribution and the sales area. But in other places like underwriting, pricing of the products, and also in claim settlement, where they will need more technology enhanced individuals to support them in doing their job better. So now let us see how AI becomes a valuable element in distribution and also in sales of an insurance product. So before we meet an insurance service provider, we always prepare ourselves with so many questions. The same way, there are so many questions which the service provider has to ask himself or herself before taking up that job. So if an individual wants to become a recruiting agent, what are the qualities that will make a person a good agent? How much will I earn if I become an agent? So this is always there. even though when we see the quality of work, we at the end of the day, we see what is the earnings in our pocket. The second one is to know about the lifetime value of agents and the customers. Who will be the best agents and what will be their future? Who will be a best customer and what will be their future? And also to identify characteristics of successful agents and also the managers in the agency. Who makes a good agent or who makes a good leader? So when we raise questions like this, we should also raise questions on the personality type. So all customers are not alike. All buyers don't accept things, whatever we tend to push it to their hands. But any time of their life, they are supposed to meet us in any form. It may not be the same service provider, but might be a different one. But of course, they should meet an insurance service provider. And they should actually spend time and little bit of money to actually avoid the risk in their life. And how does this profile match agents to clients and also the possibility towards us? Which agent sells best to which customer? There will be number of agents who are having more number of customers, but it's difficult for them to choose who is the best customer. There might be agents who will have minimum handful of customers, but all of them will be best customers to them. So insurance is a data-rich organization which is not necessarily used or made. Most of the data in the past, particularly when it comes to driving sales, supporting sales channels, and also providing more knowledge to the intermediaries, to the agents and the agents who are meeting the client customers. The changing global trend is actually increasing focus on customers and explosion of data that is being collected. An AI-powered customer journey will actually map the understanding of a customer towards his critical tools or the creating a positive customer experience in building data and also distributing the products that are being with the service provider to the client. So as a service provider, the insurance company should prepare itself to meet the customers who are ready to take up technology into their field. Now, customers are ready to accept technology. Customers are ready to go up in using AI. Now, how far is this insurance service provider ready to bring up technology into them? How far they are able to satisfy customers by using technology? That they should be prepared themselves before they meet a customer. Usually there is always a big question mark. We are ready to use technology, but where to start? How to start? What is the right time to start using technology into any field? So AI in business is also an important area to decide where to start. There are two approaches to understand where to start using technology. The first one is on focus of data. This approach assumes that the owner of the data and the result, the journey, is everything technology driven. which can be properly managed and maintained by a normal human being. This also assumes that there is equal value to the business in the market. There is also equal value to the data that is being collected from the customer. And also, it results in the buying capacity of the customer. The second place where we can use AI is to focus in use of cases. So especially the journey of AI with clear business priorities, which are ready to enjoy greater success. The number of AI technology is most appropriate to pinpoint the data that is necessary to help them to achieve business objectives. Again, data is all, because without that, technology cannot be immensely used into the insurance sector. There are many benefits when AI is associated into insurance. Not only in terms of the three categories that we have seen already, but also in other areas where they can provide increased access to various insights about the insurance sector. So once machine learning model is used by a service provider, he will attract more customers, he will have more profitable customers, and he will also satisfy the customers. If AI is going to be used in insurance to deliver right people at the right time, so real-time business is possible, and AI is also going to create a rank for this particular service provider. He will be able to answer the questions of risk which any individual or a company is raising. He will be answerable to any underwriting related queries. He will be able to provide claim settlement in just seconds. AI actually ensures consistent employee performance. So this is not only related to the insurance sector. In any field, an employee is being assessed, and a consistent improvement in the performance only can withstand an employee in his job. The same way, to consistently withstand to get more customers into the service provider, he should have to eliminate all the guesswork and to sit and discuss, make decisions to see what is going to be correct, which is the accurate method to reach a customer, and also to have more experienced employees in this platform so that they can give more recommendations that will be actually helping the insurance service provider in using technology. Might be experienced people will look old, but they will have certain good tactics to find solution to any problem which arises in the modern day. So even a modern technology using a service provider should have an olden day decision maker with them to solve problems with the customers through usage of technology. And the last one, employees are actually driven faster. They need more decision making platforms. They need to show them that they are performing better in a short time. Now, AI is going to support them in actually showing how they are able to prove themselves in their performance. This will help them to avoid fraudulent claims. Actually, using technology can avoid more fraudulent activities, but how far it is all positively used depends upon the restrictions that are being imposed on technology. And also, using this technology alone is not going to be supportive. It needs a human counterpart. It needs a human support to calculate, to work upon, and also to act upon new strategies that can be brought up by an insurance provider. So when actually technology is being used, insurance sector is going to excel in the coming up days. We are much aware about different fields, but we are not very much clear about the work that is being taken, the pressure that is being taken up by these insurance service providers. As users of insurance, especially when we were to use or to take up insurance in any of the form, especially travel insurance, which has become mandatory for any international travel. We got to better understand the value of insurance and their service providers, how much effort they take up in reaching a client. And even now, in this difficult times, they were able to provide insurance in a very short time for any traveler who has an emergency travel plan. So insurance is not such an easy going sector. They also have most of the difficult aspects in their work segment. But AI will definitely support them in bringing all their pressure down and also understanding the customer's viewpoint in spending their time. Now, mostly, even though we don't much think about monetary terms, we always think about the time that is being spent in taking a policy or whatever is the requirements that we need to put in to come up with a new policy. This AI technology is going to attract more customers to this insurance market and also new employees to the field that will enhance this particular segment in the near future. Thank you all for your patient listening. And once again, I thank the organizers for giving me this opportunity to meet you all and talk something what I could understand about AI, which will power insurance sector in the near future. Thank you once again.
Thank you, ma'am, for joining us today besides your busy schedule and enriching us with your valuable words and life experiences. It was a pleasure listening to you. The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their own dreams. Felicitation is an art of stimulating deeper understanding, fresh thinking, and behavioral transformation. Today, we have Mr. Prasad Sir, MCOM MBA. He is the Honorable Secretary of Coimbatore Insurance Institute who has worked for LIC for India for the past 27 years. He is also the Vice President of Ganapati NSS Coimbatore. He is also a governing body member of the CMS institutions. We are glad to have you with us today, sir. With much felicity, I would like to invite Mr. B. Prasad, sir, to spell out the felicitation address.
Good afternoon to all. Respected management of Sri Ramakrishna College of Arts and Science, Secretary and Principal of Dr. B.L. Sivakumar sir, today's inaugural address speaker, Mr. Sankararaman Narayanan, and the keynote address, Dr. Vidya Ramachandran from Oman, Dr. Deena, Vice Principal of College, Sri Shanmugananda Vadigal sir, Dean Commerce, Students and Welfare, other faculty members, my Coimbatore Insurance Institute colleagues, not but the least, my beloved students. First of all, I thank you all giving this opportunity on behalf of Coimbatore Insurance Institute to conduct the excellent international conference, the topic of Insurance 2030, impact of artificial intelligence on the future of insurance. Dear students, you are all very aware about the artificial intelligence influence in insurance better from our two key speakers. Now I am representing Insurance of India. Coimbatore Insurance Institute affiliated to Insurance of India. We are one and only reputed insurance education institute in India. They are conducting various diplomas like licenseship, associateship, fellowship, and specialized diplomas in insurance domain. So we will discuss about the brief details about the diplomas and certificate courses in another part because we already time constraint today around the time is going on. Coimbatore Insurance is regularly conduct international seminar and national seminar, international conferences, symposium, workshop, and contact classes for the students development in our jurisdiction. This is the first time we are conducting international seminar in offline and online mode. This is I'll appreciate the administrator and organizing team of Sri Ramakrishna College of Arts and Science. So I request you all. The insurance is you are already aware about the situation. The recent past scenario, you are already aware the importance of insurance and insurance education due to this pandemic, this corona, COVID-19, etc., etc. So insurance is very important. Insurance sector and banking sector is very much developing profile, developing industry in future. So our department and your colleges set up this insurance 2030 as a topic, future insurance, because insurance sector, the developing sector in all over the industry in all over the world. Again, we coming to Insurance of India. We are conducting the diplomas to salary tour. These diplomas are recognized by all over the world. In our area, in India, around 57 insurance companies are running in the country, local government. Then 5 public sector companies, life and general. Then other 52 companies are joint venture with foreign insurance companies, including SBI also. So insurance knowledge persons are very much needed in the industry. So once again, I request to all our students, you will complete your degree with additional course in insurance like our diplomas, etc., for your future development. On my felicitation, before my conclude, I congratulate all our organizers of this international conference, very success manner this conference. So once again, we will meet in person again in your college in person to develop or to brief details about our diplomas and courses. So once again, I thank and congratulate the success of this international conference. Thank you, one and all.
you, sir, for your valuable insights and solving up the event. The technical session takes place in 2 different Google Meets. Technical session 1 has already started and technical session 2 is about to start. The participants are divided into 2 sessions for presenting their papers. Technical session 1 with the resource person Dr. C. Karthik sir, Assistant Professor, Christ University, and the rapporteur of the session, Dr. Yamuna Ma'am, Associate Professor, Department of PSG College of Arts and Science, along with the P. Valimati Ma'am, Assistant Professor, Department of BCom BP, of Arts and Science. The technical session 2 will have the resource person Dr. Prabhakar sir, Professor, Department of MBA, Eastern College of Arts and Science, Rapporteur, Mrs. Sindhuja, Assistant Professor and Department of College for Women, along with the Mr. J. Deepak Kumar sir, Assistant Professor, Department of BCom BPS and Art, Ramakrishna College of Arts and Science. There are more than 40 presenters who will be presenting your paper. Session 20. The presenters list, along with the Google Meet code, will be intimated to you, the WhatsApp group. Thank you all for joining us for the inaugural session and good luck with your presentation. Hope to see you all in the valedictory session.